Now, your Billy Wood Honda forecast first.
Winds are howling across the ArkLaMiss. Maximum wind gusts since midnight have generally topped out in the 25 to 35 mile an hour range, 38 mile an hour wind gusts at the Greenville airport. And along with that, sustained winds have generally been in the 15 to 20 mile an hour range. Quite the breezy day, and a wind advisory stays in effect as the cold front moves through the area tomorrow. Temperatures will fall through the course of the day, probably reaching the low 60s through the afternoon, with some clearing through the afternoon hours as well. That's your forecast first. First at 4 starts now.
Live from the NBC 10 Broadcast Center, this is your ArkLaMiss news source. Voted best newscast and best weather. This is NBC 10 News, First at 4.
Hello, and thank you so much for joining us for your First at 4. I'm Cindy Langston with your South Arkansas news. Our top story at this hour: early voting for the March 5th primary election is still underway in Arkansas, and poll officials tell us there is no wait as voter turnout is way below average. Our J.W. Meisenheimer has that story.
Early voting in Union County is still ongoing until March 4th, but poll officials say that there has not been large turnout due to a lack of awareness that voting is going on and only 2 local elections.
I think we've had 365. But I think the problem is we've only have 2 contested races. You need to exercise your right to vote because it's very, very important. Union County in the state of Arkansas probably has the safest election process, and there's no cheating that goes on.
Some El Dorado residents tell us that they did not know that early voting was going on.
The other day I was going to the DMV to replace one of my old driver's license, and they notified me that early voting had started, if I'd like to register.
You need to be involved in the process, and not only young people getting out and voting, but young people coming in and serving as poll workers. Union County, Arkansas has the reputation of being one of the best counties as far as smoothness of an election going now.
Obviously voting is quintessential to, our nation's prosperity. I mean, we can get really involved in politics, but if we don't actually make the steps and go vote, I mean, our voice is just unheard.
All wards have been consolidated into the municipal auditorium for voting. Reporting in El Dorado for your ArkLaMiss news source, I'm J.W. Meisenheimer.
Changing gears now, human trafficking is a crime seen across our nation, targeting hundreds of thousands of Americans each and every year. But it's also a tragedy seen in our very own backyard. Operation Heart took place earlier this month in northeast Arkansas in Jonesboro. It recovered 5 women believed to have been trafficked, identified another 30 local victims, and located 1 suspected trafficker. The effort was made up of state and federal law enforcement and victim service providers who spent 2 months planning the bust. Arkansas State Police Sergeant Matthew Foster says the work is hard, but it's critical to protecting Arkansans.
This couldn't be done without the team, and it's so important to give these individuals a choice that they haven't had in a very long time.
Recovered victims were offered food, lodging, medical care, and counseling. So far, no one has been charged as the investigation continues. If you suspect human trafficking, contact the Arkansas Human Trafficking Council or the National Human Trafficking Hotline number at the number listed on your screen. And the push for the Board of Corrections member to resign amid allegations of covering up child sex abuse for decades is getting stronger. As our Samantha Boyd reports, both Democrats and Republicans are taking allegations against Alonza Giles very seriously.
Do not take lightly calling for someone to step down from a board or commission.
A Board of Corrections member accused of covering up child sexual abuse for decades is now getting more pressure to step down. More than 50 victims, all adults now, have come forward in civil lawsuits over the last few months against leaders at the Lord's Ranch. Alonza Giles is specifically named in the lawsuits for turning a blind eye to the abuse after kids came to him to report it.
The accusations are so serious, they are so vivid, they're so horrendous, something we can't even talk in details about on TV.
Senate President Bart Hester now among the latest lawmakers to join the push for Giles to resign, sending this letter today calling for his resignation.
I wrote the letter last week. I sat on it. This has been something that's been weighing on me.
He says a letter like this is a first for him in his decade of service.
I agree with a lot of my colleagues that Mr. Giles should step down and resign.
While Democratic lawmakers have not formally discussed it together, Senator Greg Leding says it's serious for lawmakers on the left as well.
this is not in any way a partisan issue.
While the allegations were news to Ledding until recently, Hester says he's known about the civil lawsuits against Giles since they first started coming out in 2023.
Why now? Why speak out on this now if you knew about it back in 2023?
We do live in a country that you are innocent until proven guilty. But again, as the amount of allegations have continued to come forward and the specific details, like, wow, this is something that has some real teeth to it.
Lawmakers also say the Board of Corrections specifically deserves someone with a clean slate.
If he turned a blind eye to real abuse to children, is he turning a blind eye today to abuse? I don't know that. But the reality is, because there is a question mark there, he should step down.
If Giles does not resign on his own, the governor could call him to step down for cause, and the board would have to unanimously approve that, or the legislature could vote to impeach him with a 2/3 majority. Well, emergency officials over in Saline County are now explaining what led to a chemical spill cleanup in Benton, Arkansas. They say a semi-truck carrying sodium hydroxide was parked at a truck stop when the chemical started dripping out of the back. The first crews to get there realized they needed more help.
Once they got to the scene, they reviewed the manifest, discovered there was sodium hydroxide in the back. They then called in Little Rock Fire's hazmat crew, and they showed up on the scene. They contained the chemical spill.
Sodium hydroxide is commonly found in batteries. The CDC says it can burn the eyes, skin, and even cause hair loss. The risk depends on the amount of time you're exposed to it. Officials say there's no danger any longer. And according to the Association for Children's Mental Health, 1 in 5 school-age children need mental health support, but about 80% of them don't get the help that they need. Now a grant at the University of Central Arkansas is helping to combat that issue. Caroline Derby has more.
Whenever a student may have some mental health needs that don't go addressed right away, it does spill into a lot of other aspects of their lives.
A $2.2 million grant at the University of Central Arkansas is helping to fill an urgent need. More school psychologists throughout the nation. Through the program, students like Nayeli Moreno and Riley Warford work with Conway Public Schools, allowing them to better understand the needs of students of all ages.
They're coming in from kindergarten. These are the kids that we call COVID babies. They grew up in their homes, they didn't have that social interaction. So we're laying that groundwork for them.
Dr. Joan Simon and Dr. Heather Martin say the grant helps positively influence more students than before.
Our first-year students are working with school counselors and learning more about the role of the school counselor and how school counselors and school psychologists interact with one another.
The grant also partners with Philander Smith University, saying they hope to recruit students to diversify their field.
And we would like to train more school psychologists who look like the children that they serve. We have a lot of children in Conway who are Spanish speaking. We also have a lot of children in Conway who are black or who are brown, and it's really important that there are school psychologists who look like them.
Through a program called Feel Your Best Self, Moreno says they're using and learning the skills they need to continue impacting generations to come.
It helps the students identify, well, what is a heavy feeling and what is a light feeling? And they know when they're experiencing heavier feelings, they're like, yeah, I just don't feel my best.
Well, it's beautiful outside today, and spring break is right around the corner, and the Salvation Army needs your help making sure no child goes hungry that week. March 18th through the 22nd, the Salvation Army is hoping to find volunteers to help pack sack lunches for kids in the county. Donations are also encouraged throughout the week to help fill the needs within our community.
We have about 11 different locations throughout the county that we're distributing to. We go all the way to Hudding, Strong, Callion, several places here in town, a lot of the apartment complexes here in town.
Yeah, the major says they're expecting to make 1,000 meals in El Dorado each and every day and 300 in Camden, those again to be distributed daily. If you'd like to volunteer or donate, you can call 870-863-4830.
Hopefully the major can keep around some of this spring-like weather for spring break in just a couple of weeks, but we will see some ebbs and flows in the meantime. 81 in El Dorado. Winds still breezy out of the south. Another windy day tomorrow. Forward to the forecast as First at 4 continues.